Good morning, all. Yeah, I see that. Only need to wear the golden egg shirt once, and then I can put it away, right? I like that one. Mike, I predict 5,000 and silver at 100 by the end of the month. Mike, you're not the only person that predicts that, or close to it, I should say. Similar. Hello, Z Force. Hello, KC. Hello, GS. Hello, Mr. Ward. Whoa, yeah, I'm still trying to. Boy, did I miss this one. Official negation. The Sudanese did not withdraw from running for prime minister. Yeah, we're getting so many mixed stories right now, including from one saying, yeah, I'll step aside. And then to he has to, I'll step aside if needed. There's a lot of back and forth going on right now. Buckle up. Kirby, appreciated. Oh, wow, it's your birthday. Yeah, tried reversing the sevens, but it didn't work too well. Happy birthday, sir. And tell the bride I said hello. Hello, Wally. Hello, Spanker. We are via silver 100, according to Bo Pony. Good. Then we're days away the way it looks. Hello, Darby. I see Deb celebrating the big birthday. See, Kirby, this works better for Deb. She flips them, it's 27. You flip them, it's 77. Of course, it could be worse. I mean, you could be 79 and then you flip it and you're 97. So, I mean, I see where you're going. Hello, KKB. Yeah, what a fire hose. That's a good way to describe it, Golden On. It is a fire hose. It's not a sip of news. It has been a fire hose. Davos this week. Cat Viola, does Trump he just removed us from 66 international treaties / whatever, said, they don't work for us. Thanks for playing. We're done playing. I wonder how that's going. I mean, Davos has got to be going, oh my God, what's going to happen here? The obscene, crazy authoritarian crackdown in the UK. Do you realize that the UK, and it's like a magnitude, I forget what it is, of 6 times more prosecutions for speech issues than China, the authoritarian tracking big brother government of China. It is easier for Chinese to talk and have free speech than it is somebody from the UK, is my takeaway from that. There was a really good article last week on it and showed the number of charges issued. I mean, they followed it 100% documented from the legal side of it. Now, what really makes that interesting when you look at exponentially more issues in the UK is the population difference. So if you are having exponentially more prosecutions or attempted prosecutions for speech in the UK than you are having in China, now look at the population of the UK, look at the population of China, you're going to find wee little bit of difference. Sarcasm noted. If anybody hadn't figured out that I like sarcasm, then probably not the show for you to watch at all. Which banks could go under with the high silver prices? New York Shepherd, it's good to be at the normal desk. UK man arrested for posting on Facebook that he didn't like seeing Palestinian flags. Boom, that's enough. Yeah, there's certain flags I don't like seeing. Sometimes it's just because of where they're at. It's not because of what's on them. It's just inappropriate where they're at. Sometimes it's what's on them. Sometimes it's the size and location. Can't take a right when you can't see. Those kinds of things. But to not have the free speech to say it, Troy, much appreciated. Yeah, I saw. Oh, wait, no, that's not what I was looking for. Iranian currency, I believe it's completely collapsed. This is getting interesting. So I've got a trip to Philippines. I'll be there 2 months in June to August if this goes well. I'm there. How long do I have to get back? I believe you will have 90 days. So I think you're going to be fine either way, Mike. But for me, I'd take like a 10K dinar, take like a 100K dong, something like that. And you got to fly back. You got to fly back. Private jets will make the trip. That's the way I would look at it. I would dare it to happen. I would look forward to it happening. It's kind of like when you need it to rain. It hadn't rained in a while. Your car's dirty. You're like, maybe I shouldn't wash it because it'll rain. No, wash it so it'll rain. I see that one saying the Chinese have been suppressed for so long they don't even brave it on the free speech. See, well, something is going on. AP Max had gold and silver breaks new records 4 times overnight. UBS. Now they have already, guys, this was January 9th. Switzerland, for you guys that are trying to figure out the whole UBS thing. A little fanfare, Bullion Bank raises silver to $85 in 3 months, gold to $5,000. Of course, now silver's already killed that, eclipsed it. But there have been some internal links over at UBS showing nearly $300 silver in the coming days. Jabril, unfortunately, I don't have any fun bond / whatever rumors since early Saturday. And boy, have we had some humdingers. Most of them pointing to the belief that things click off somewhere around Tuesday or Wednesday this week on the currency side, meaning bonds should see a very interesting 48 hours if what they were being told overnight Friday into Saturday is accurate. Buckle up. Seems to all be coming to a head all at one time. Little Barb said silver hit 86.03 this morning. Hello, George, over at XRP. Still think XRP is going to scream as they continue to fractionalize assets as we move to commodities. How do you make commodities mobile? How do you make it where you can put a price on them and trade and whatever, and it's mobile and it's still backed by that commodity? It's going to be blockchain, currency, call it crypto, come up with whatever name you want to use. I think the overwhelming majority in the early days will be monetized or tokenized using XRP. I think it's going to do well. Follow it. There's a lot of research out there, guys. Don't take this is not financial advice. Okay, this is important. Good morning, everyone. This is from Bowler. For your information, tomorrow's Bowler's 76th birthday. Yeah, I know. You thought Bowler was much younger. You have my P.O. box number here in Boise. You can still overnight my birthday gifts. Bowler, we're looking forward to it. See, heavenliest birthdays. See, gold, 42 on our books. Stroke of the pen, 46 does wonders for our debt. Makes a substantial difference. Not enough of a difference unless there is more gold than reported, AKA or possibly some of that Chinese gold or maybe some of that Vatican gold that was rumored to have been flown over in the wee hours of the night. Yeah, that's a great question. Unibrow, will the Clintons show up to Congress this week? So much happening this week. It's looking like things on the Clarity Act moving forward, sailing forward. It's like, whoa. Swiss Bank is also short 2.1 billion ounces. Tell you about the coffee. Enjoying some downright tasty Freedom Forge coffee. I got some of their new Myco series coming that I'm really, really excited about. We'll talk about it. Just keep watching their website. They continue to take quality to a whole new level. Yeah, what is in Fort Knox? I think that's where the aliens are hanging out. You know, weather's better in Kentucky than it is in the desert. See, Fireside Grace Ministries on YouTube said he saw the dinar at 0.0003. Seems disappointing. True. Debbie, why is that disappointing? And why is that? That's where it was already at. That's where until it changes, almost like, yeah, I don't understand, Debbie, why that was disappointing. Yeah, I don't understand. That's the current price. It's been that way for years. Iran is falling. The question is, what's it going to look like after? Let's see. Shah's son being the one to take over the need free elections. Craig, this one will be a fun one for us to discuss this morning because the Shah's son has been overwhelmingly clear on this. He said he will gladly be a figurehead during the transition, but he will not become a monarch. He wants free and open democratic elections. That is what he wants for Iran. He doesn't want to be the leader of Iran. He is willing to be the interim leader of Iran while they hold fair, open, and free elections. So when they're pushing that one, I think it's very important to see what the Shah's son is saying. The Shah's son, race, lives in Maryland, guys. Pretty conservative on his politics. Does not want to be a dictator, doesn't want to be a leader, will reluctantly lead during the transition. See, boom, you go, Ingrid. That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah, Jack, here's a big question. When do they have to when do they get called? When's that margin call? When do they have to ante up on the table? Reading, this is fun. Catherine is saying, I heard that HSBC London Silver Market has to exit all silver positions by January 31st or face fraud. Silver could be 347 by month's end or higher. You know, that would kind of fit with UBS's guess of 298 silver. Just wow. DSK, I'm still just blown away. Over at APMEX, they're showing gold at 4,633.10, silver at 85.97. What they're showing is the implosion of your dollar and your fiat currencies, what they are showing. And it is, that damage is being doled out evenly across all fiat currencies right now. Philip, I don't know what you were trying to post, but if you can find a way to just talk about it, and I will touch on it, man. See what I can share or not share. Well, I love that one. Someone call me Marge and call. You'd have to know like handles and past handles to appreciate that one, but I did. Yeah, Troy. Just stop with the rational thinking and the logical thinking. Troy, you bring up a great point, man. Troy posting, how could they have fair elections even if the U.S. helps? Because we can't have them in the U.S. Hi, MarkZ and all. I couldn't get on the internet for 2 hours. Good to have you here. Go 49ers are going to win, just saying, if this is a truly fixed game. Oh, football, crazy. Sorry for you Chicago fans. Tough day over there for the Bears. Dow down 301. JT, I'm really surprised it's not an absolute bloodbath going on right now in the markets. Lee Christensen posting silver 86.19 and rising. Greg, since your birthday is the 6th of February and you're going to be here, I take my cake and I'm going to get some rainbow frosting for it, though, Greg, just to mess with you. Maybe we can put some sprinkles on it. Karen sharing that I'm guessing she's referring to Dow was down 500 points in after hours trading. Wait, Bears won? They were so far behind when I was watching it. I mean, they were getting obliterated. Did they win? Wait, what? I didn't watch the end of it. I didn't think it was worth watching the way they were just getting slapped about. Wow. AZ Cactus 67 to today. Wow. I'm just like blown away on that one. I didn't even see the need to follow anymore after that one. Just like, we got a big game tonight. No, the important one, of course, is the AFC wildcard game with the Houston Texans. Yes, Texans are favored. We'll see. Mark, Bears only play the fourth quarter. Yeah, news, ads. No ads. We're just talking about coffee today. Not a huge amount of news, but there is some very interesting stuff. So we will get to it. Let me see if I can put that up, pull the comment down, and we will start over here again on the bond side. It's a bit of all I've gotten since Saturday morning when we did the podcast were a few more confirmations with some other bond folks, should I say, folks involved in the process and or holders saying the same thing, that they're being told that they think things will kick off Tuesday, Wednesday this week. That is what they are being told. If there's any changes, or they tell me about any changes, I should say, I'll let you know. There was a request for more historical bond related artifacts and or bonds being pulled out for sale from the vaults. I have heard that there is a huge amount of activity on that front right now to settle out, which encouraging. Be more encouraging when we know somebody's got spendable money. All of them pointing towards, at this point, like overwhelmingly pointing towards currency knocking loose this week, which warm fuzzy, but that doesn't buy you groceries. Silver, we're watching that. We're going to get into more of that in a minute. So let's get back to the news we can see on TV. Yeah, I'm hoping the Steelers pull it out tonight. Gary said, Mark, with all the references to Back to the Future movie, I think when silver hits 88, we are all off and running. Bo Pawnee recently putting 100. What do y'all think? Let's see. I have a 17-year-old cat with pneumonia. I've been working with him all morning. He finally ate a good bit and drank even more water. Hey, sending prayers, D. Do you receive updates from Mr. C on Mondays? Yes, Mika, and he has already checked in and he has not been paid. It is very rare for me not to at least text with Mr. C on a day. Very rare. Let's get to Iraq. And something I missed big time was this back and forth. Reconstruction and development. Al-Sudani's concession facilitates the task of the framework in choosing prime minister. Al-Saidi confirms the candidacy al-Maliki for the presidency of the next government has been decided. Now, wait a minute. Presidency or is it prime minister? Which is it? What I'm pointing out is the crazy back and forth we are watching in the articles right now. We'll get into a little more of this. Let's get back here to Maliki and Sudani. We're getting a lot of mixed. Yes, he's stepping down. He said he is willing to step down if it makes it faster. That Iraq desperately needs a sat prime minister right now because of the tensions in the area. Iran imploding and the possible vacuum it could create. What I am being told is Sudani has said, if I need to step down, even if it's Maliki, we need that leadership sat. Or are they trying to out Maliki by sitting him and letting him fall with the Iranian government so that he's removed from the board completely as a political? I don't mean like death or anything like that. I mean just because information gets out. When I tell you it is very difficult to decipher reality in Iraq right now. Over the weekend, it is very difficult to figure out what reality is right now in Iraq. But it appears that maybe even Maliki and Sudani are simply pulling a Seder and saying, if I'm the problem, I'll get out of the way. Now, am I still the problem? Let me know because we need this done. I think a lot of people are calling BS right now. A lot of calls are being called. Well, how do I say that? There's a lot of calls going on right now. I'm going to try to say, sorry, I keep getting distracted. Why are you sorry, Mark? Bears won. I'm sorry that I had it so wrong, that I had people here possibly ready to jump off the stadium. Yeah, me personally, I think Maliki should be gone. But is there something bigger here and planned? Green Eyes, Maliki owns the news sources, just saying. Yeah, I guess Green Eyes, what I'm getting at is it is so convoluted and is so purposeful just to buckle up. Wait, let's see. Carol, please explain the historical stuff. What is it? What do you mean by the? Oh, you're talking about historical bonds? That would be in order to. I've done this a lot. I know I need to pull in, and being 100% unprepared, where I can't give you exact examples with the dates, the countries, and what the money went for is kind of sucks. But the short of it is, in the past, countries have made sovereign promises and guarantees to their people and people of other countries that invest in them. This is something that is not based on fraud or fiat. So, in order to reset, we are told that has to be paid. And a lot of those historical assets that are getting values attached to it are being used as collateral for loans to be, meaning it allows them to be asset backed. So they are anteing them all up. It's part of putting in the asset for the new monetary system so that they has real physical backing from these assets. That's kind of the short of it. I know it's probably more confusing, but without sitting down and spending about 30 minutes to pull reference material, it's about the closest you're going to get this morning. Well, they cap silver. I don't think they can cap silver at this point until it calms down. Have you seen the silver around the world? This is something I should have done. Um, do I have this anywhere? Hold on, guys. I was thinking if I had a good breakdown on silver amounts from around the world and which countries have them, but I don't have it. But silver production, Trump's sudden push for Monroe Doctrine, Donroe Doctrine, whatever you want to call it, guys, would put Trump, or should I say the U.S., in the driver's seat on over half of the silver production of the world. I mean, like enormous. No REITs. Wait, where are you if they're suggesting a 28% tax on our silver? I'm not letting them tax mine. Reading a few of the, okay, let's keep going. Basel in effect, Basel 3. And now, guys, it is a very strange. When we look at Basel 3, don't think that saves all the banks from their silver positions, because in this crazy upside down world, this paper silver is still being considered an asset, even though it is way short. So don't let that fool you into thinking that the banks are all safe because they're Basel 3 right now, and they're not, and they're suddenly miraculously immune to the silver short. They are not. Let's see. Reading a few of these. Let's see. Happy birthday, my youngest son, Bear, 21st. Good birthdays. Okay. See, Militiaman and Crew said yesterday that Sudani is most likely the next prime minister, and all the back and forth is fake news. I agree with Militiaman and Crew on that one, but it really is. There are far more out there than I expected on the back and forth, because I chose to ignore it because I was told it was crap, and there was a lot more. So I need to focus on it and read it just in case I am wrong. It happens. John, here's a good one for you. And I don't have the exact figures myself, but these sound about right to me. John saying world produces 200 million ounces of silver each year, and it's oversold by nearly 20 billion ounces. Yeah, do the math. Right? How many years would it take? What is that? 20? No, let's see. In 10 years, they would be at 2 billion. So we're going to add another one to that one. Oh, so in 100 years, you're saying they could meet their shorts if there's never any more demand for silver between now and then. Yeah, prices are about to change. Where is Jay Branch? Good question. He is supposed to be in Iraq this month full time, I believe. Now, I've not seen this one. Camino Mike saying, anyone wants to see Speaker Johnson is getting daycare money, launder money? Well, this is going to be fun. We got some fun stuff coming from Basent today. Crook, wow, zero hedge reports, no bids on overnight repo. This could be interesting. Have they stabilized the bleeding, triage it, or something bigger? My thoughts on Davos going to Trump next week. I mean, Trump going to Davos next Davos going to Trump, Trump going to Davos. Look for fireworks as he either puts them on notice or accepts their defeat. That's my thoughts. John, if we go asset back gold and silver, what'll happen to the gold and silver market? Gold and silver will go way up. Fiat currencies will go way down. There'll be a lot of uncertainty, and then things will suddenly become extremely stabilized. At least that's what history has taught us. Mika, Trump endorsing Marco Rubio for Cuba's next president. Epic. I thought it was funny. He's not serious. Birthday bowling guest for today's bowling. Yeah, okay, here it is, guys. It's your chance. Let's get to it. 812 billion ounces a year globally. Is that what's produced or sold? Yeah, I think the price of land in Cuba is going to increase soon. Maybe I can get there and get a piece. Economist, somebody getting offended by the comment. Economist, new custom systems needs a gradual approach to avoid market shocks. We were talking about this on Saturday. I told you that there was a lot of behind the scenes talk about the need to slow it. It is now making the news cycle to bring it in instead of all at once. They've been waiting 15 years. They just aren't ready. It's too sudden. It does create short-term price differences in the markets. They're looking to slow the roll on the implementation, but still continue the implementation. All this is okay. But it is the chatter in their news. Government advisor, the 2026 budget is the first law to be raised in the parliament and the exchange rate at 130,000. So that 1,300, not 1,310, not 1,320, 1,300 in the budget. Now, why is this important? Because they're giving us margins here, and these margins can change. Remember, they put in a mechanism for rate changes. If they revalue, they put in a mechanism for a revaluation into their budget and how they figure out who gets paid what. They put the mechanism in there, but now they're giving us a spread as well. Sources revealed that the central bank will buy the dollar at the price of 13, buy the U.S. dollar for trade. So they're giving you a set exchange rate versus the dollar, and all the other currencies around the world fluctuate with it. So $1 U.S., $1,300 from the Ministry of Finance for this budget. Now, they put in the mechanism to change, so don't think this means, oh my God, there's no way it can change. If you think that, you're not informed. And sell it at the price of $13.10 to the banks, which will then be allowed to sell it for $13.20 to traders and foreign remittances. So they are protecting the people with built-in rates. And now keep in mind that there's one for 13, but these are done on percentages. So they have given us a set rate, the most the banks can charge when it is time to exchange or revalue. I think this is important because they are putting together the mechanisms necessary for revaluation right in front of our face. And if they didn't have any intention of revaluing, why would they be doing that? They have a pegged exchange rate. Why are they putting in mechanisms for rate changes if they have a pegged? I'll let you all think that one through. See if you can enlighten me. I'm down to be enlightened. Government advisor predicts price of barrel of oil in the 2026 budget. Why did I bring this one out? Soleil telling us what he believes that oil will average for the year of 2026. So I thought this one would be interesting for folks. He believes we will see a global average between 55 and 62 for the year. So much relief at the pumps. We're talking about probably a touch lower than what we're paying right now, which is, lowest prices we've seen in 5-6 years. So really, really comforting news for consumers all around the world. Consumers, average citizen, mom, dad trying to get to the soccer game, that kind of thing. UBS silver price. We talked about this one could potentially reach triple-digit levels. We're talking about only 3 days ago, they were guessing 85, guessing gold at 5,000. They have thrown that out the window. Some internal leaks now saying that they believe silver is going to rise to just under 300 or close to 300 over at UBS. How many of those were we getting? We got short term. I think it was it one of the U.S. banks? I don't remember if it was JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, one of them. We just shared a story a week or two ago where they think we're going to see 109 short term and like 309 long term. So now we're starting to get more and more banks starting to throw out that $300 number. I'm just blown away by what we're watching. And it does. It calls all the shorts due. I like that Jimbo. If silver hits 300, I'm retiring. I'm already stunned at what my silver's done, and I don't have a huge amount, and I'm still stunned. Definitely makes me glad I met Andy a long time ago. Banks are going long. I think that's the shift. Stan, starting to think once Sudani is the official prime minister, this things goes. I would not be surprised at all, Stan. What did Buddy have for us? I think I missed that one. Oh, he just saying some hellos. Whoa, that was a mouthful. I don't think Malik will make it in, but guys, I could be horribly, horribly wrong here. I'm watching it. Let me turn this news banner off while we hit a little more news. Department of Justice opens a criminal investigation into federal chair Powell. Now, this thing looks fishy as all get out. If I were just in the mainstream news, wasn't in anywhere else, hadn't been following this at all, hadn't been following the insane cost overruns going on with the multi-billion-dollar renovation at the Federal Reserve, which is not federal and it's not a reserve and it's not ours and all those things. But you and I are paying for this renovation, and it keeps going hundreds of millions of dollars over. What do you think? I know the timing really sucks. Like, oh, Powell would not play game. He's going to be out here in May. And now the Trump administration and the DOJ is going after it. It means they weaponize the DOJ. It's all political because the Fed won't do what they want. Or could there be actual fraud going on and it needs to be investigated? Well, Powell doing a masterful job spinning it to the mainstream crew that, oh my God, I can't believe they're going after me. You know, Trump doesn't like me and I want to lower rates and I want to screw the economy by lowering them and increasing inflation. I mean, Powell's record sucks so bad that I can't even believe he's attempting this, but he is attempting it. And because press gives him a complete pass, he's getting away with pressing it. And it is a very bad look for the Trump administration because they did not get ahead of it. I mean, when I tell you probably the worst PR machine in the history of ever is Republicans across the board. Trump's group does way better than anybody in the past, but still not what they need to do. They should have been ahead of it on the charges. But I very much believe they are just cutting into the slush fund left and right. And if I read more news stories for the day with what Bessent is doing, it very much looks like they are cutting off the slush funds to all these criminal organizations, or should I say all these. Yeah, I'm going to run with criminal organizations. I'm going to run with that. I'm going to be bold. I believe many of our political organizations, or I probably shouldn't say political, I should say government, are actually corrupt political organizations and not part of the necessary bureaucracy. I'm going to run with that because it's true. Our CIA continues to screw us left and right. They help train. Well, yeah, I can't say that with absolute certainty. So all I can say is there is a lot of alleged things that tell me the CIA is bad, and corrupt, even though I know people that work there that are wonderful, world class. Yeah. How do we deal with it? What do we do? Let's see. Roy Hobbs says, Mark, Republicans are bad PR machines because most are compromised. They are trans Republicans. I'll totally woke rhinos. I'll agree with you on that one. Yeah, hell, will we ever buy jewelry with those prices? Jewelry is going to become really special. All right, Trump already receiving briefings on military strike options for Iran as the protest deaths soar. Now being cited at over 500 protesters have been killed. Not always protesters. I guess we're up to maybe 50 police officers. I've seen different numbers, 47, 48, 51. But most of them tend to agree somewhere around 50 law enforcement folks. Reuters and CNN have relied on a U.S.-based group that claims more than 544 people have been killed over the past 15 days during the anti-government demonstrations. Now, when you consider it was less than, I believe, 10 just days ago, that means things are really ratcheting up. Let's see, anti-regime protests in Iran where demonstrators torched the Al Rusul Mosque in Tehran, Sadat Abad. Guys, they're torching mosques. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy one. The new high death count is unverifiable, but is still being widely circulated. Evidence of a bloody state clampdown is now starting to come out from people who have either have managed to connect to Starlink or have left Iran and brought videos with them. But even Iranian state TV is reporting from the morgue where a large number of body bags can be seen, of course. Attention shift to Iran as we speak. Unlike the 2022 protests centered around social liberties, this episode looks to be triggered by economic paralysis. Oil, gold, currency, and we continue to hear that things are deteriorating, not improving in Iraq. Trump now claiming that some Iranian leaders have been reaching out. They are trying to negotiate, and they are setting up a meeting. Trump made the comment that the meeting may come too late. The U.S. may be forced to interfere for the people of Iran before the meeting can occur just because things are deteriorating so quickly. It's a lot to digest because it changes a whole heck of a lot in Iraq, Middle Eastern politics, currencies. It changes an enormous amount as we watch this. That's my biggest concern this week is the amount of progress and the amount of flux. Trump says Iran seeks negotiations. Ooh, I already told you that after warnings of military intervention. And his comment really probably shouldn't have said it, but maybe he should have said it. I think they're tired of being beat up by the United States, Trump said. In other words, he's Iranian officials are just tired of being the whipping post. I'm tired of getting my butt beat. Let's sit down and talk about it. Trump urges Cuba to strike a deal with the U.S. after oil and money cut off from Venezuela. They just cut off about 25% of the oil to Cuba, which was already a bit starved on the front. Of course, they did float the Marco Rubio thing. That may be actually be in this article, isn't it? No, it wasn't in this article. That tweet was widely shared. Mexico has been selling some oil to Cuba, but it hasn't changed under their current leader as opposed to last. It's been pretty standard. Majority of the oil from Cuba now will all be coming from Russia unless there is a change. But then we also noticed this war on the Shadow Fleet that has been bringing a lot of that oil to Cuba. I think we're about to see a lot of change all over the world. I'm against regime change, but am I being foolish and naive? Is this what we really need? It just hasn't played out well in the past whenever the U.S. has been involved in regime change. It usually bites us in the butt, kind of like we created Al-Qaeda because we didn't like the Mujahideen and we didn't like Russia, so we were willing to go there. Then we had to fight him again. We put Saddam Hussein into place in Iraq because we didn't like the Khomeini in Iran, and then we had to turn around. And I mean, you get the notion here. The U.S. has arguably one of the worst foreign policy records in recorded human history. Impressive. Reading a few of these before I keep babbling. So big crackdown going on all of it. If you are the deep state around the world, how do you keep up with the pace? How do you keep up with the amount of changes being thrown at you? You don't have enough stability to create another working base to fall back on. I mean, this is masterful. If you've got to take down a cabal, a worldwide, let's say one does exist. Let's just entertain the thought that all these crazy conspiracy theories are right. Many of those crazy conspiracy theorists being well-known politicians around the world and think tanks and very intelligent people. Not counting me. And they're telling us of this big interconnected cabal that has been leading the world. And we're watching a systematic, purposeful dismantling. There's a lot going on. And they are in, I don't know if I'd say full retreat, but the battle on every different front has got to be scaring them. Got to be scaring them. Let's see, Crooklyn XRP is because we've been used as the brute of the world. It's time we actually helping countries become truly sovereign and free from globalists and imperialists. Hey, we have in the past. We have in the past helped people overthrow authoritarian and be sovereign. And I look forward to getting back to doing it for the right reason. Yes, yes, and yes. Percent signals crackdown on dark money NGO protests, just like we did on the mafia. Now, here we're going to get into what Percent is doing. Left's ability to rapidly stage highly organized pop-up protests in response to just about any political incident is uncanny. Like every time you turn around, Protest Inc. is at it. Percent is saying, they all have the same laser pointers so that they can blind ICE agents. They all have, like hundreds of them at a rally. They all have the same signs. They all have the same, who paid for all the same buses. He's saying, we can track this and we can hold them legally responsible when they have violated laws. So Percent is putting together, a way to track them all and all of the dollars, saying, this is easy. He's even gone even further. Percent's been busy this weekend, folks. Even to the point where it's like, all this Somali fraud, we can find out where the money went. We can look at all the banks in these counties. We can find out who wired what money to who. We can find out who's guilty on, or who at least appears guilty from the different countries where the money was being sent, whether that's Somalia or whether that's, I don't know, Mexico. Pick a country. He's saying it leaves a trail, a very easy to follow trail. So let's figure out who all the guilty people are. You know that they are panicking. Here's Treasury's plan to take down Somali fraud rings. And this is more of your Percent at it. They're going after the rings. Scott Percent announced sweeping crackdown on government benefits fraud that has already cost Minnesota taxpayers billions. The initiatives aims to close loopholes that have made the system rife with abuse and increase oversight. Going after him, excuse me, I'm about to throat tickle. All right, back with you. So FinCEN is coming out and they are looking to businesses are going to be required to file reports for any transfers over $3,000 or when the beneficiary is located out of the United States. They are simply enforcing laws and increasing their, what's the word I'm looking for? Monitoring. And they are catching the middle and lower level of this as well. This is getting fun. This is all getting fun to watch because we are starting to see what we've been told we would see for years and years. We're going to start seeing people caught, people held responsible. Those that were caught are finally going to be held responsible. We're seeing it. This one I thought was worth touching on. White House amplifies shocking claims of U.S. super soldiers deployed in the Maduro rage. I know most of you guys have seen this. Many of you have sent it to me. Maggie, yes, Andy is planning on joining us this week. White House spokesman Carolyn Leavitt amplified claims about American Special Force super soldiers deployed advanced weaponry during the extraction phase of former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. When they look at this, now I would like to point out that this supposed security guard claims how it happened and don't mess with these people. They have super soldiers. I've never seen anything like it. It was weird. It was uncanny. The U.S. 6-7 people injured. Nobody lost. They basically walked in on some of the most highly trained security people in the world and just cleaned house. Just waxed it. Supposedly, there's a lot of supposed here. Trump amplifying it, Karen Leavitt amplifying it, said, we did. They have every reason to amplify that. It creates this image and nobody wants to mess with it. Hey, they can take me out anywhere, anytime. So whether or not this is 100% accurate or not 100% accurate, it's in the best interest of the U.S. for street cred to let it play and to amplify it a little. And I just want to remind us of that, because they have every reason to let us think, even if it's wrong, that it's accurate, and it could be accurate. So we've got both of those things running, but the government has, or should I say, the Trump administration has every reason to allow us to continue and think more of it. But my takeaway in this one is the numbers that this guard has pulled out and some of the numbers that have been pulled out by Cuba and some of the other ones match. So for me, it lends a lot of legs to this. Cuba coming out and just openly admitting, yeah, we lost 32 people, 32 Cubans that were involved in security, which means what? They were largely involved in areas where they said they weren't involved and weren't supposed to be involved, which means it is more of a deep state thing than, I mean, they're admitting it. Now, keep in mind, CIA very involved. Yeah, it really has me more and more convinced that the CIA needs an overhaul. Trying to catch up with some of these. Let me read. Joshua says it is accurate. I believe it's pretty accurate. I totally agree with you on this one. American super soldiers are most likely from training, not chemicals. 100% believe that. 100%. Now, there was, and I'm trying to remember the name of their new system that we keep hearing rumors. I've heard military rumors from people in the military that they have a new situational like HUDs up display that they use a combination of tech on from other sensors, drones that tracks exactly where everybody is, what's going on, that they just have absolutely overwhelming superior technology. Also heard that they use a sonic weapon, but what I'm referring to here is not a sonic weapon. Wow, I thought I had a piece up here at one point. I probably just read it and kept moving. But it was all about a situational program that they have set up. Man, what's the word I'm looking for here? And it overlays in their combat helmets so that they can see like known friendlies, known enemies, whether they're questionable or not. So it allows the soldier to quickly make decisions, and it also improves their aiming like by orders of magnitude. There's your Bears lady. Hello, Bears lady. Sven says they bent time and space. Yeah, they were getting waxed early, so I quit watching. I was like, well, gonna be some upset Bears fans. No, good for them. That's a heck of a comeback for them. Triple Daughter believes they're sending a message to Mexican cartels because they are on deck next for an assault on the U.S. military. I don't know. Most of those same military forces are now on the Iraqi-Iranian border, if what is being reported by many is accurate. Merrill, if Trump's put you on notice, you're gone. I hear, yeah, that I'm expecting a very interesting week. Exceptionally interesting week. Let's see. What does Mikola have for us here? New York Post: powerful sonic weapon in Venezuela during raid. Even the one person said yes. People just started following. It was very targeted. Some of them bleeding out of nose, eyes, ears. I believe absolutely sonic weapon used. Yep. Jamie, you're spot on, man. Watch the pizza delivery times in Washington. Start seeing when they are delivering to the Pentagon. Or we should probably get now that that story's leaked. Wonder if they're going to be getting Chinese takeout. I know I would switch it up. Or are they going to get like takeout further away and have somebody drive it in? Now that it's made all the major press, they're going to probably switch it up a little bit. Hello, Blossberg. Yeah, I'm referring to the HUDs, the heads-up display in the helmets, but I'm trying to remember the exact name of the program that they are using. Um, wouldn't be surprised if it's in zero, in the current. Oh wait, UK, Germany, and France push a new plan in hopes it appeases Trump on Greenland. DHS blasts anti-ICE protesters, sharing list of hotels allegedly hosting agents. This is not turning out well. It's like the left is doubling down on idiocy, hoping they never win another national election again, ever. Let's see. Ayatollah posts that arrogant Trump will be overthrown as Iran protests lose steam. Trump says he'll talk to Musk about getting Starlink to protesters. There's so much going on. Just buckle up and watch. Ooh. Looking at some of the news breaking today. Trump is saying X's new algorithm will be open source in 6 days. In other words, people will be able to finally go in. Is it removing? Is it like downplaying my news? Is it upplaying somebody else's? This is a first. This is setting a precedence for other social media sites. He's going to be, that I know of, the very, very first, and he's the biggest. Boy, that's big. Wow, Jamie's 60th. Oh, wait, happy birthday to your husband. Wait, which is it? James, Jamie, which is it? Reading a few of these. I'm going to get back to it. Oh, man, Matt C-Sax, did you see that Musk is looking to change X's name to grooming gangs so that UK leadership will leave it alone? That's a funny joke, Matt C-Sax. But did you see the post Trump had about the grooming gangs and stuff? How they could stop Putin's comment on that one. And Trump and Musk just reposted it. Got to find this one. That's another one. There have been some really interesting ones over the weekend posts, but Putin said he wasn't the least bit worried about the UK. They couldn't even stop rubber boats coming over with rapists across their channel. He wasn't really worried about them stopping any kind of Russian military advance. And he brings up a good point. If they can't stop a couple of rubber rafts bringing in illegal people that are invading their country, raping their women, killing people in their churches, then how are they going to stop a real military? I mean, he brings up an arguable point. Let's see. Just in, Iranian diplomats have been banned from entering European Parliament. Kelly, we talked about, was it Saturday? No, it was Friday. I don't remember. We just, in the last few days, we have talked about why Greenland is so important. A good bit about why Greenland is so important, but put it down for strategically, it is in an ideal location. As the Bering Sea continues to defrost, it means that Russia has the ability to become a major naval power. And a lot of shipping that used to take much longer can be shorter through formerly ice-clogged lanes, opening up a whole new frontier, but also opening up a whole new way to attack us. So security. Also, Greenland is just riddled with natural resources. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on this one if you want, as to just strategically why it is so important. Whoa, break it down. Trying to find this one. We had a good one in here. Somebody was wait, if you know what's buried under Greenland, you'd understand what's buried under there. Well, we know the natural resources, and we've heard a lot of other things. We've heard some sub facilities. We've heard a lot of interesting things. Mike, how does the $100 trillion suddenly gain value? I don't believe that the $100 trillion suddenly gains value. I believe it's being used as a ticket to your Humanitarian funds that are being released. That's going to be a much longer one. We've talked about that one a lot, but it's also, Mike, it's not like you can be here for every minute of every podcast of every year, of every day. Maybe we should make a list of all the things that you guys need and do podcasts on some of the top 10. Air Cavalry Son, Air Cav Son, if they are disclosing certain weapon systems now, that's old tech. Worry about the stuff they're not talking about. That is a great point. They have been airing that they have capabilities that have been rumored for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and we're now seeing it being openly discussed and used, which means if that existed 10 years ago and we're just now hearing about it, what exists now on that tech? We're just now seeing it in regular practical use. How much of it was in use before and we just didn't hear about it? Now they're openly discussing it and talking. That's a great point. Kid Ricks, no, we got video. It's just your feed. Trying to keep up with a few of these. Yeah, a lot of rumors that Maduro was sitting on a bunch of silver and they have taken that. A lot of rumors that China, Russia, and the US are actually working together on all of these world changes. There are so many rumors. What's real? Dave, more ice. We need more ice. No Zester this morning. I know he was having to upfit. I had to pick up when I was back and forth with my father. I picked up a new power supply. Zester was having tech issues in a big way this weekend. Let's see, breaking. Greenland government cannot accept U.S. intention to take island under any circumstance. Statement inside. Yeah, be curious as to where that actually came from. Supposedly, they are going to be pitching a new one. The UK, all of them, UK, Germany, and France pushing a new one. Let's see what, guys, this story just breaking since we've been on here this morning. Let's see what they're saying. Then we'll start calling it a wrap with a re-meet tomorrow. President Trump's Friday's remarks to reporters Friday made clear he is willing to take control of Greenland, even if it's the hard way. And this sent the Europeans scrambling over the weekend to come up with plans or strategies for quickly de escalating inter NATO tensions. Now, guys, I'm going to throw out a hypothesis after I read a little bit of this. I'm not talking about the money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that, but right now we're going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not. President had said, adding, I would like to make a deal, the easy way. But if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. In the wake of this, NATO member Denmark responded firmly in the face of the U.S. threat to its colonies. Such a scenario as a U.S. military move on Greenland would be the collapse of NATO. Danish Prime Minister, Trump's already said, we don't need NATO. You need NATO. We don't need NATO. So collapse of NATO really not important to the U.S. and Trump right now. I would like to make a deal. Where was I on this one? The United States were to choose to attack another NATO country, then everything would come to an end. I believe it's already coming to an end anyway, but I don't think we're going to attack Greenland. The international community as we know it, democratic rules of the game. NATO, the world's strongest defense alliance, all the world would collapse if one NATO country chose to attack another. Yeah, they're scared. So I wonder what this idea is. A group of European countries led by the UK and Germany is discussing plans for a military presence in Greenland to show Trump that the continent is serious about Arctic security and to try to tamp down American threats to take over the self-ruling Danish territory. Germany will propose setting up a joint NATO mission. So they're trying to put NATO in there. I guess they're trying to use themselves. I mean, they got an extra 12 soldiers they can post there. How's this going to work? Yeah, I'm not seeing much meat in that one. Kind of a waste. Whitney, belated birthday, belated birthday. Yeah, NATO, we accept the terms, right? I'm okay with it. Whitney was 47. Happy 47th. Jason, that's some of what concerns me too. 7 kingdoms being formed. You could draw a lot of correlations into end of times, revelations, and what we see now. You can draw way too many correlations for me to be comfortable. Sharon, 67th today. Sharon, happy birthday, Miss Nance. Let's see. After Hours did a great job explaining the value of Greenland. There's a lot of value there. I mean, a crazy amount of volume there. Yeah, all right. I need to sing. Kirby, Deb, AZ, Cactus, Baird, James, of course, Whitney, so many others. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating. I'm going to go back to that one article in just a minute. I remember our RCO told us back in 86 in Germany, we don't have allies. We only have mutual interests. That's the stinking truth of it. All right, let's get back to this one, though. Let's get back to the whole Greenland and the Greenland comment from Trump. Go back to the beginning here. In Trump's words, just saying it's clear that he's willing to take control of Greenland, even if it's the hard way. Or we should probably do this with his words so we don't get misquoted. I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that, but right now we're going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not. And he did that this weekend, right? He may have absolutely no intention to do anything with Greenland at all anytime soon. He may already have it worked out with Greenland. But now, what did his comment do? It took the UK, it took Germany, it took all of them, meaning all of them being Europe. And suddenly they focused on this instead of what's going on in, say, Iran or what's going on in Venezuela. They are so busy reacting that they can't act, that the globalists in all those countries are so busy trying to circle their wagons, they can't lash out like they normally would. They can't get ahead of this one. So perhaps that comment was so that Trump can be left alone in Iran and Venezuela and Cuba right now. That's what I am hypothesizing. That's my theory, my theorizing going on. Look here, not here, and he is playing them like a fiddle. That is my theory. Sluggo believes I just nailed it. So Trump's supposed to be on at 1:30. Guys, just buckle up and watch. This is where you need the popcorn, and you're going to need to find some kind of sanity. Go ground yourself as we watch the craziness. Look forward to seeing you in the morning unless there is breaking news. Bye, guys.